Hi, everyone, and welcome to TWF NXT. I am Gorilla Monsoon, here with Samoeus and the Jackal. And today on NXT, we're going to see the TWF Women's Tag Team winnings on stake here today. When the TWF Women's Tag Team Fighters, which will be Dana Brooke and Ivory, take on Team UFC Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey. Well, I guess that is a good name to call them, and that is what everybody started calling them at one time. Everyone started calling them, Team UFC. Even if they both didn't go to the same skilled fighting business, they both were former skilled fighters with a beginner fighter wrestling background to boot on top of that. Well, yeah, that's right. That is right. That is right. That is right, Autolycus said. It's right, Samoeus said. Both of them are former skilled fighters. Both of them have some skilled wrestling background, too, I would think. And today they got to put the TWF Women's Tag Team winnings on stake here today on NXT, Samoeus says. I can tell you one thing that Jackal says. Even if they don't put them up, they're going to be shamed until they do. And that's going to something that neither side, wants to live down, is the shame of saying, well, I was the TWF Women's Tag Team Fighters. We had to yield them up because no one could seek where my other teammate was at. You know what I mean? Well, it looks like that might be true. Gorilla Monsoon says sadly, Jackal. It looks like we could only seek Dana Brooke. We don't know where Ivory's at. And Gorilla Monsoon said this has been a bind in the Toy Wrestling Federation for at least going for about 30 years where you couldn't seek someone. You didn't know where they got put at. You forget where you put them at. And then when you want them, they're not there. Well, I could tell you one thing. Trini Kwan said. We don't know, where Ivory's at. But we do know where Dana Brooke is at. So sadly, Dana Brooke's going to probably have to come out here and give up her, her TWF Women Tag Team winnings because we don't know where Ivory went. All right, Dana Brooke says, I don't know where my teammate Ivory went. I don't know where she got put. And we don't have all this time to be looking for her. So I know that I'm going to have to give up the TWF Women Tag Team winnings over, the Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler. Oh, isn't that sad, Ronda Rousey said. Your teammate Ivory went into hiding, went missing. Yeah, Shayna Baszler says. That's kind of sad, giving to you being the only one out here by yourself. But I don't guilt Ivory for going into hiding. She knew sooner or later she was going to be facing the two of us. She knew she was going to be leering the two of us sooner or later, and she knew one day she was going to lose. So, to save herself from all this shaming that happened, she went into hiding. Alright, I just gave up the TWF Women Tag Team winnings over to you, Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler. But I'm going to tell you, when I do seek Ivory, me and her are going to win them back from you. Yeah, good luck with that, Dana Brooke. Yeah, good luck with that, Dana Brooke. Aha! That means that we're now the three-time TWF Women Tag Team Fighters. You see? Ivory, they didn't know where to put Ivory at, but the truth is I think Ivory went into hiding. And we didn't even have to lift a finger, Ronda Rousey says. Yeah, Shayna Baszler said. Could you mind see that one? Well, first off, Astronomer says, I don't know how proud you both can be, how glad both of you can be for not lifting a finger to become the three-time TWF Women Tag Team Fighters. Yes, the TWF has been in a bind for about 30 years when you put a wrestler somewhere and you can't seek them, so you got to give up the winnings. But that doesn't mean that you're just going to walk out of here without putting your winnings on stake. So here today on NXT, we're going to see Team UFC, well, Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler, take on the former TWF Women Tag Team Fighters. No, not Dana Brooke and Ivory. The ones that won them before that. Eve Torres and Amber Moon. And trust me, we know where those two are at. And Ecliptor says, we'll see if you both are still smiling and happy and glee. Fuck. After you have this match. Well, we do know. Well, there they are. Good luck, ladies. Astronomer says, you're going to need it, Ecliptor says. Well, we just heard from Astronomer saying, Gorilla Monsoon says, we just heard from Astronomer that the TWF Women Tag Team winnings will be on stake even if Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler didn't have to lift a finger to win them, Gorilla Monsoon says. Well, I think that's truly unfair, the Jackal said. They should only be the TWF Women Tag Team Fighters. They shouldn't have to wrestle. Or fight. So, other words, what you're saying, Samoa says, is they should just get the winnings, get the straps, and then go home, and not have to wrestle or fight at all. Yeah, that's what I'm saying to Jackal. They should have to do that. Well, too bad, Gorilla Monsoon says, Jackal or Cyrus, you don't make the oversight. This is for the TWF Women's Tag Team winnings. First, they are Eve Torres and Amber Moon. And they are the TWF Women Tag Team Fighters, Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler. Ding ding. Well, who's going to go first? I'm guessing it's going to be Shayna Baszler with Ember Moon. Shit. And don't forget, both of these women were former WWE NXT Women Heavyweight Fighters once upon a time. Gorilla Monsoon said before Ember Moon was fired from WWE and then went to AEW. Yeah, it's true, Samoa says. Ember Moon was a former WWE NXT Women's Heavyweight Fighter and a former WWE NXT Women's Tag Team Fighter. While she was on NXT, then Raw, then SmackDown, NXT again before being fired or let go or laid off or whatever, Samoa says. Yeah, well, you don't forget, the Jackal said, it was Shayna Baszler who ended up beating Ember Moon to become the WWE NXT Women's Heavyweight Fighter. And Ember Moon, well, she and Asuka had to give up the winnings over to Ember Moon after that. Ember Moon in a bind right now. And the Jackal says, and knowing Ember Moon or Athena's yesteryear in WWE and what she's done in AEW is not much. Oh, and Shayna Baszler tagging in Ronda Rousey. Well, we do know Ronda Rousey has made it known that she don't give a shit about anyone anymore. She don't care about on-look. She don't care about love. All she cares about is beating up folks. You know, need be that was the true Ronda Rousey. Maybe the Ronda Rousey that she was a lie. The one she only played. Ronda Rousey taking down Ember Moon. Ronda Rousey. Oh, Ember Moon just body slammed Ronda Rousey. Ember Moon bringing in Eve Torres, Gorilla Monsoon said. So, if Eve Torres can beat the former two-time WWE SmackDown Women's Heavyweight Fighter, former WWE Raw Fighter, and the WWE Women's Tag Team Fighter, that will be quite of a big thing. When Eve Torres coming back right now. Oh no. Shayna Baszler. Ronda Rousey got Eve Torres in an armbar. Eve Torres may have been wedlocked into the Gracie Ken. One of the folks that started UFC in between 93 while, but it doesn't mean she know how to do skilled fighting. Real Monsoon said, here's Ember Moon now. Oh, Ember Moon was just taken out by Shayna Baszler, Samoa said. Yeah, Eve Torres is going to yield. I don't care if she is a three-time WWE lead women's heavyweight fighter or not. Ding, 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 ding. Here is your winner. And still the TWF Women's Heavyweight. Still the TWF Women's Heavyweight. Still the Women's Tag Team Fighters. Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler. Well, Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey, Gorilla Monsoon said, are now the three-time TWF Women's Tag Team Fighters. And I know, Jackal, that you think they're cool. You think they're someone to onlook, but the rest of the world doesn't think so. Gorilla Monsoon says, yeah, Samoa said, you might go around and onlook Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler for all the things they did when they were a skilled fighter, but all the things they did when they were a skilled wrestler not to be onlooked, Samoa says. I could tell you one thing, the Jackal says. Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler never onlooked anyone when they were in UFC. They never looked anyone when they were in WWE. And since WWE is now owned by Endeavor, or Undertake, the same business that owns UFC, it's one and the same now. Yeah, it is true, Gorilla Monsoon said, that WWE is now owned by Endeavor, Undertake, the business owned by Ariel Waddell and Patrick Whitewell, who that also own UFC. They now own WWE now. But that's WWE's world, not the TWF's world. Well, big behind that, Tony Schiavone now is going to be talking with Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey. Alright, Gorilla Monsoon. I'm going to be talking with with Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler here today on NXT, the new two three-time TWF Women's Tag Team Fighters. So, Ronda Rousey, how's it feel to be a winner again, a fighter again? I've been a winner and a fighter wherever I went. The World Games, UFC, WWE, show playing, you name it, I have overtaken it. And you know something, I am a former WWE, a former TWF Women's Heavyweight Fighter, a former World Heavyweight Fighter, a 3-time WWE SmackDown, a 2-time WWE SmackDown Women's Heavyweight Fighter, a 1-time WWE Raw Women's Heavyweight Fighter, the WWE Women's Tag Team Fighter, 3-time TWF Women's Tag Team Fighters. But for Shayna Baszler, it's not the first time she's ever won it. See, I learned a long time ago not to care what folks thought of me. I learned the only way I was going to get ahead was to be as mean and evil and sinful and unlawful that I could be. So, other words, be a bully and being a heel. Whatever you want to call it, Tony Schiavone. Whatever you want to call it. Well, Shayna Baszler. Yeah, it's not the first time me and Ronda Rousey ever won winnings together. We both came to WWE at the same time. Only she went to Raw the first time, and I was put on SmackDown the first time, and Raw the 2nd time. While me, I went on NXT, I was then on Raw, then put on SmackDown, and back on Raw again. I became a 2-time WWE NXT Women's Heavyweight Fighter. I became a 3-time WWE Women's Tag Team Fighter. Hell, I was a 2-time World Women's Heavyweight Fighter. And the TWF, they always called us Team UFC since we were both from that same business. But you know what? We had so much fun beating these two, Amber Moon and Eve Torres. We can't yell to beat other teams. Well, that's my talk with Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler. Back to you, Gorilla Monsoon. Well, thank you, Tony Schiavone, for talking with Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler here today on NXT. And that's all the time we got here for NXT. I am Gorilla Monsoon. Gorilla Monsoon, for Samoyas and the Jackal, or Osiris. We hope you like NXT, and we'll see you tomorrow for Impact. We'll see you tomorrow on Dynamite or Mike.